Hello, everyone. My name is Priya Ravindhran. I am a speaker today for Tech Talk for Seniors. And today we're going to be covering Pinterest and photo management, which really should be idea management. I'd like to take a minute right now to request everyone to go on mute so that we don't interrupt the presentation. And also, if you could hold your questions until the end of the presentation, you might get your questions answered throughout the demonstration here today. Great, so let's get started. So today's topic is Pinterest and photo management, and I actually called it idea management, and you'll see why in just a moment. My name is Priya Ravindhran. A little bit about myself. I'm a software engineer. I work in sales for a software company. That's a picture of me over there to the right, and that allows you to give my voice and my name a name and a face to that name, and now you get the whole package. So I am a UCLA alum. Go Bruins. If any of you are alumni from UCLA, you're with a like-minded person here. As well as a technologist of 20 years, I am an avid user of all technology. I'm always learning something new. I've worked in technology for 20 years, and that includes my schooling as well as my internships. And I'm very excited about being in this space because I'm extremely passionate about mobile, the internet, software, as you know, that pays my bills. And on the other side of the spectrum, I'm actually very, very passionate about dance. I am a classically trained dancer of 35 years, and it is quite surprising how in line and similar concepts of technology and dance are. You're really kind of creating something, executing on it, and you have a finished product, and it's pretty much very similar. I'm also passionate about empowering women in technology. This is an area that I find very, very inspiring to me as I start to see a lot of women embracing roles in leadership as well as creating businesses and connecting with women across different countries, different social backgrounds and cultures, and being able to really create something that's wonderful that everybody's able to use. So that's a real big passion of mine. Pinterest in my life. Pinterest has changed my life in a lot of different ways. I heard about Pinterest about maybe 4 years ago from a friend who talked about it as another social media site for women. So that initially piqued my interest, and although I had a little bit of apprehension about joining Pinterest because I already had enough under my belt in terms of social media, I had a Facebook account, I had a LinkedIn account, I had barely used Twitter. I felt a little bit of apprehension around Pinterest because I didn't want to now learn yet another tool that I felt would occupy a lot of my time. But I was pleasantly surprised to see that it's actually been a very helpful tool in my life and that it has helped me visualize everything that I've been able to accomplish, at least in the last couple of years. And that is true of anything you can visualize. Just as an abstract concept, visualization is a very powerful tool and should be used when you are really trying to focus on something that you want to see materialize for you. So this could be anything like a new home. At the time I learned about Pinterest, I was in the process of moving into my new home, and I wanted to get an idea of how to decorate it, or maybe what I was looking for in a kitchen or a bathroom, in a bedroom. As I started to do that, I started to explore other areas that I'm really passionate about, such as workout routines and nutrition, and eventually that started getting me into recipes, outfits, things that have nothing to do with homes, and my brain really started to go a little wild. Eventually, I started using Pinterest for planning holiday festivities, gifts, decorations, cocktails, what have you. And then finally, the most important way Pinterest has impacted my life is that it has allowed me an escape to a vacation, allowed me to create a dream vacation, and actually imagine the impossible vacations that I never thought I'd ever be taking. And you'll be happy to know that I've actually been able to accomplish most of the things off the board just because I put it down there. Now, the tool itself is relatively easy. It took a bit to understand the concept because who needs a visualization tool when you can have your brain, right? But when I started using the tool, I started to understand why people do this, and it's really to organize the chaos that sometimes takes place in our head and allows us to limit ourselves. We actually have quite a bit of power in our brains to actually limit us from seeing what is actually possible, and I'll talk about that in just a second. But when I started using the tool, it was very easy, and then I just ran with it. Again, from an abstract perspective, I can accomplish anything I can visualize and see as a future. When I take those actions to actually see it achieved, I commit my mind to it, and it actually happens. And that is the power of visualization. So Pinterest itself is a web and mobile application. It was a company started in 2010 in San Francisco, and it offers visual discovery, collection, sharing, and storage, so you can store your ideas and come back to them when you need to. Also, it allows you to create and share collections of visual bookmarks. So these things could be what we call boards. They could be pictures, they could be websites, they can be links to other pins that other people have pinned. And really, you start creating a collection of these into what we call a board. So once you save them in a board, you can share these pins from multiple resources and actually start categorizing them in things like birthday parties, retirement parties, planning a vacation, writing a book, interior decorating, holidays. So when you get these ideas together, you can really start unleashing the potential of what you thought was possible. And eventually, you can start creating these boards to really organize and plan and execute on these events. So in today's demonstration, I want to show you how you can actually create an account. You can create a board within that account, and then how you can start pinning to your boards, how you can start following people, and then maybe I'll show you a little bit about settings and then a little bit about mobile as well. So let's get started. Before we do, I want you to really start setting your mind about visualizing and what that is to you. So for some people, visualizing is just thinking of a picture that they know already in their head, meditating on that picture, and then eventually taking action to accomplish that picture. Well, what happens when you don't know a picture in the mind already? Or what happens if you don't even know if a picture is possible in your mind? Do you stop thinking about it? Well, this next quote is something that I find very, very fitting for that exact dilemma, and it's this one here. Ordinary people believe only in the possible. Extraordinary people will visualize not what is possible or probable, but rather what is impossible. And by visualizing the impossible, they begin to see it as possible. And this quote is by Cherie Carter Scott, and I find this really powerful because there's quite a bit out there that we don't even know is possible, that we limit our minds to because we just haven't quite, frankly, thought about it. And when you start using a tool like Pinterest, which you'll see in just a moment, you start seeing what's possible and what's actually created out there for you to use. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to quickly move to my browser here. And this is Chrome. I'm using Chrome. And again, I'm coming to Google. So if I go to Pinterest, I have it bookmarked here. I actually can get right into Pinterest here. And I didn't actually log out because I want to start over from scratch and create a brand new account. Okay, there are a couple ways you can actually create an account. You can actually create it if you have an existing Facebook account. You can start with that. Or you can just start with an email address. You are going to need an email address to get started, so definitely make sure you have that. Instead of creating it from Gmail, I created a Yahoo account as well for Tech Talk for Seniors. So I'm going to use that. And I'm going to create a password that makes sense to me. So maybe Talk Pinterest. And then all I do is hit sign up, and that's it. Maybe I've used this before. So I'm going to call it Tech Talk for Seniors 1. Okay, Great. And I'm going to call this Tech Talk for Seniors 1. And my age is 65 and female. I'm going to go ahead and come on in. And that's it. That's really all you have to do. You might have to go to your email and confirm it at some point, but that you can do at some point later. It's not urgent for you to do that right now. But it's a good way, it's a good habit you can get into, actually linking a lot of your accounts so you don't have to, run into any type of notification later. So does it want to save my password? Right now I'm going to just say no. And I'm going to just go ahead and get started. So immediately on the first page, it's asking me what I'm interested in. So maybe I'm going to pick something like fitness, and then maybe books, nutrition, and then I really want to do things on a bucket list. That sounds exciting to me. It's asking me, saying it's looking good, it's not great yet. Okay, maybe Marilyn Monroe, that's interesting to me. Maybe if there was something on do it your home decor, maybe they'll have some holiday stuff. Okay, so great. So it looks like I'm in the right direction. I'm going to go ahead and hit maybe one more, do it yourself crafts, and hit follow. So what's happening right now is that there's an existing, I'm going to skip this, I'm going to hit skip. There's some existing boards that are already created in the world of Pinterest. And so I can start to follow these boards so I get some inspiration. The first thing I'm starting to notice is that I'm getting pictures of Marilyn Monroe, and maybe pictures of nutrition, coffee versus tea, again, more Marilyn Monroe, fruit for health. So you get the idea. So based on the categories, it's displaying information that I find should be definitely set for someone with the categories that I've set. Now, one thing that you should keep in mind is that these aren't just pictures. If I were to go into any one of these boards, if I wanted to select a board here, like let's just select this one and expand it, you'll notice that this is actually a link to a website, or in this case, maybe this is just a picture. So let's go back to another one. If I click on this picture here, it'll actually take me to a different website altogether, Health Central. And that's important to know because Pinterest is not a collection of pictures. It's a collection of ideas. And ideas can be in the form of a picture. They can be in the form of a website. They can be even in the form of a blog. It really depends on how you set that up. So I'm going to go back, close out of here. So I get the idea. Now I want to actually go into the habit of actually creating a board. So I'm going to go into my profile. If I go and click on this tech talk right up here, you'll see that I'm in my profile. And now I'm going to create a board. So in this case, I'm going to call this board, let's just call it holidays. And a description will be fun stuff I'm noticing about the holidays. Sometimes you don't really need to know what you are pinning about. You can just start pinning. It really can be anything. And the description, you can always come back and change. You can come back and edit your board. Again, you can set what category it is. So in this case, maybe I just want to call it holidays and events. Do I want to add a map? Not right now. Do I want to keep it secret? I could. That would make the board private. And you'll know what that means in a second. And if I wanted to add more pins, do I want to be the only one contributing to this? Maybe I want to collaborate with someone else. I can actually type in their email, and they actually have access to this board, so they can start adding pins as well. So at this point, it's just me. I'm going to go ahead and create the board. And so voila, a board has been created. So once the board has been created, I can start adding a pin. So I can actually either pick from the web or add a pin from, something I searched or from my device itself. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go into the search bar here and pick up holiday stuff here. So I'm going to just put in holidays. And again, I'm using Pinterest itself as my search engine. And so it's looking for boards or pins within Pinterest. And I don't know why it's taking so long. So we're going to actually just take just a minute here. Okay, so got it. So Pinterest likes to give me some suggestions on tours, so I just canceled out of there. I don't need any tours. I'm just going to explore it myself. So I get some ideas on holidays. I'm going to go ahead and start pinning things. So this looks really interesting to me. Look at these beautiful strawberries that are used as Santa hats. It's pretty cool. So I'm going to go ahead and pin this just to give you an idea. And this should be already created for me, which is interesting. So maybe it hasn't recognized that I have a board yet. So I'm going to go back in here, Tech Talk. There's one created here. Okay. Maybe I'm going to just go back and put in holidays. Again, I want to pin this one, and I pin it to my holidays board. Great. All right. Here's my holidays board. Go ahead and pin it. And there we go. It's now asking me if I want to create a pin as a button. I'm going to just say no, just canceling out of there. So I quickly have created a basic board here with one pin. So I go to my board. It should show up. It just takes a minute for it to refresh. And I wouldn't freak out about that right away. But while that's kind of pulling up, let's go into, here we are, this Tech Talk for Seniors page. I'm going to go into my Pinterest account, my actually personal one. I think it might be interesting for you to see what's actually possible. And so in this case, you'll notice that I have a couple of pictures, a bunch of different boards here. Something I literally just pinned right now, just a moment ago, onto my style. But if you go into my account here, you'll notice that I have several different boards. I have for my style. Again, I talked about dance. I have some dance stuff here, health and wellness. I threw a dinner party at home. Some ideas on recipes and cocktails there. Anything and everything that I can think about, I can create and I can organize in such a way that it helps me kind of guide myself to accomplishing some of these things. Now, at the top, you'll notice a couple of numbers. These are just basically just some basic stats about my pins. So I have 19 boards. I've seen people that have had 100 boards or more. There's really no limit. And then I've pinned about 175 pins. I have 7 likes, either from the community or myself. And I have people that are actually following my board because I've actually connected my Pinterest account to Facebook. So there's people actually that have connected and found my board that way, or maybe I put my board out into the Pinterest world and people are organically following it that way. And then I'm also following 183 people, and that could be a mix of the boards that I've found, that I started to like the boards, and now I'm following those boards, or I found them through Facebook and I'm following them that way. So again, just gives you an idea of what's possible. So this is basically Pinterest. And then if I go to settings here, I'm going to quickly go to account settings. So I want to show you very quickly how you can actually update your profile. So again, you can change your email address here. You can set up your search privacy. So in this case, you may want to be more private than I am. I have mine kind of exposed to the world. I can set that to yes or no. I can clear my search history. I can change my picture if I want. I can change my username. I can add a description about myself. It really depends on what I'm looking for. And here's where I can actually connect to social networks. So great. This is where you can do that here as well. You have a variety of different social networks you can set it up to. And just make sure you save your settings when you do that. And now you're good to go. I'm going to go back to my profile. And there you have it. And so here's just an example of one of the pins. And we're going to just take a look at the dance pins that I have here. Great. Okay, so I'm going to try to do this. If I can't do this, then I will try again. But I'm going to show you how you can actually use Pinterest on your mobile phone. So I'm going to go into, it may not allow me to do this now. So it may not allow me to do it. Okay, great. Well, one thing that you can keep in mind is that you can actually use your mobile phone and access Pinterest the same way. You download the app from the Google Play Store or from the App Store if you have an iOS device. and you don't need to pay for anything. It's absolutely free. What you see on the web is going to be the exact same thing you see on the mobile device, with the exception of the format. The format will definitely be formatted to your phone. It's actually a really nice way to plan your ideas on the go. I use it all the time. I check out pins that my friends have posted or people I don't even know have posted, and I get ideas all the time. It's a great way to use your social media time to do something purposeful. It is time consuming, but it is more purposeful than not. And it's a great way to just go ahead and get started. You can upload photos from your phone. You'll notice some of these pictures are of myself and dance. Again, Pinterest is really designed to create inspiration and create ideas, brainstorm, share with others, find other ways to inspire yourself. It allows me to continue to keep myself active and not complacent, and again, continue to dream about the impossible and actually create that as a reality for myself. So it's a great tool. I encourage all of you guys to use it often. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to take them at this time. Great, no questions? Well, I'd like you to still reach out to us if you have any questions. Please feel free to contact us at techtalkforseniors@gmail.com, or there's a Facebook page called www.facebook.com/techtalk4 and let us know if you have questions on anything you saw today, any topic ideas, or even if there's opportunities for us to come and actually visit and do a live presentation with a group in front of a group of people. We'd be more than happy to do that. Again, the Facebook page looks like this. We're going to go there right now. All you have to do is, if you have a Facebook account, you can actually like the page. You can get all the information pretty quickly. If you don't have a Facebook account, you can either create one, or you could just come to www.facebook.com/techtalkforseniors. I haven't gated anything here. You can actually check out all of the different posts we have. I will be recording this presentation today, and we'll have it posted later for your viewing pleasure. And with that, I'd like to thank you for your time today. You've been a pleasure to speak with, and I look forward to hearing from you about more tech talks in the future. Thank you.